Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Thread. No crazy introduction this week because the crazy aspect of this week's episode is no, that's not VFX or any fancy Hollywood tricks. We are actually in the same room. This isn't CGI. This isn't a bizarre encounter of the third kind. Yet. But it is a special occasion because Jordan and I are on the road investigating some of our own spooky situations, which you will hopefully see evidence of soon. Hopefully. Please God, hopefully that happens because we're in the deep. We're
so in the deep.
Yeah,
Jackson is financially in the deep as well.
Yeah, this is...
More ways than one. He's in deep everywhere. He's emotionally in the deep. We're deep in the middle of Australia. And I think Jackson's probably in deep shit as well. I don't think it's going to pan out. But nonetheless, we will persist on. You can see his heart break as I even say the realization.
I don't know if it's the money aspect of it that hurts the most or if it's the fact that I just spent 20 hours in a car to be told it's probably not going to happen, Jackson. I think that's the part that hurts the most.
Well,
hey,
I had fun.
I'm all effort.
You are.
I am.
You soldiered on for this one.
This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, though. This might be no effort Jackson from now on.
Catatonic Jackson.
Yeah, so this week's episode, we're in person, obviously, but I still do bring topical information for us to digest, given we are talking about the Ariel School UFO incident. So let me just quickly go over a little preamble here. Most alien encounters are easily dismissed as unreliable tales from a lone, crazy witness. But what if the story wasn't from one lone witness out on a deserted road in the early morning hours, but instead it came from over 60 school children on their playground in Ruwa, Zimbabwe, all witnessing the same event? Yeah, okay, yeah, you're already yawning.
And I slept in the van for 20 hours.
You did
the whole
sleep
20 hours.
20 hours today.
I was in Brisbane and now I'm here. It was like an MIB flash.
Relevant.
But I will stay away.
Yeah, thank you.
I will persevere.
This is your little trickle of effort, staying awake.
Everyone's pulling their weight.
Suddenly, the story becomes a whole lot more fascinating. Luckily. That's exactly what happened on September 16th, 1994, when during their morning break, a school of children witnessed a silver craft descend from the sky where it then landed in the brush beyond their schoolyard. From the object emerged a being with large dark eyes who communicated not with words but with powerful telepathic images, bringing with it urgent warnings about humanity's future. The detailed drawings they created from their experience, the individual retellings of the story, have remained remarkably consistent for decades, making the Ariel School encounter one of the most perplexing and surprisingly credible, I don't know, you're going to shake your head there, mass UFO sightings in modern history. Let's find out in this week's episode of Red Thread, and luckily you're the alien hunter. I mean, this is perfect for you. I'm going to assume...
We're going to go look at aliens and doing a podcast on aliens.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're not going to shit on it. You're not going to shit on it the entire time as well.
No. This one I remain firmly agnostic to. Which, let's just say this.
That's not what I heard at dinner.
Agnostic is as close as I could get to skeptical on this subject.
I was shocked. So, spoilers alert, he's being a little bit playful with the truth, I would say. We just came back from dinner and I was shocked to find out that this is the one alien UFO theory that Jordan is very dismissive of.
Yeah. I'm just going to reveal that a little bit later on, but now that the cat's out of the bag, that's exactly what I am. This is the one version where I think, I don't know if I trust a bunch of crown pictures drawn by 12-year-olds.
But there's a lot of pictures.
There is a lot of pictures.
And they're all vastly different.
And as we all know, variety. Yeah, because it's kind of like diversifying your share portfolio. One of them's got to be a right pick.
Yeah. One of them's the actual alien. The rest are just
all decoys.
Forgeries. It's just decoys. Chapter 1, a region under invasion. The titular incident occurred at the Ariel School, a private primary school situated in Ruwa, Zimbabwe. And if you don't know, Zimbabwe is in Africa. At the time, Ruwa was not formally incorporated town, but rather an agricultural and commercial crossroads located approximately 22 kilometers southwest of Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe. It kind of sounds like where we are right now, actually. Kind of like this crossroads in the middle of the...
I think so, yes. And I think that this school is probably about as economically well off as Longreach, Australia.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a plane.
Yeah.
A big plane out the front of Longreach. Yeah. Editor, put that up on the screen. Otherwise, people won't know what we're talking about.
And also know that this was the place where our airline was founded. Yeah. And as soon as they had the money, they flew out.
Yeah, they got on the first plane out of Longreach.
They invented it so they could leave.
Yeah, that's how desperate they were to leave. They invented flight like 100 years after the Wright brothers. The school itself catered to a more affluent demographic with a student body composed largely of children from wealthy families in the Harare area. As a witness would explain in the future, the children represented a, quote, cross-section of Zimbabweans, that is black children from several tribes, colored children, which is a crossbreeding of black and white, this is their quote, Asian children whose grandparents were from India, and white children, mostly Zimbabwean born, but whose parents were either from South Africa or Britain. That is to say that the children mostly came from an assortment of different backgrounds and cultures, which would make the level of eventual consistency in their stories interesting. What I always find interesting is that whenever I hear a South African accent from like the 80s or 90s, it sounds distinctly like Australian almost to me.
Does it?
Yeah, for some reason there's some kind of like tinge to it where I'm like, are they from Australia? And then I find out they're from like 90s South Africa.
I did not know that they had the same accent.
Maybe they don't, but maybe I just was raised in like an area heavy with South African accents and I just mistook that for Australian. Maybe. I don't know.
Happened?
I have no clue why, but
we do have a lot of migrants and they do tend to flock in certain areas. You could have...
It's a possibility. And we do actually have a lot of South African migrants.
Yeah, we do. Heaps. Yeah, it's a shame because you're into rugby league instead of rugby union. So it does make me think that you're just really shit at picking up people's accents. And you can't tell the difference. Is there because it's like quite unique.
It is like when I hear them next to each other, I'm like, that doesn't sound at all like what I think my image of what an Australian accent is like so skewed by media that I swear I've talked to real people, by the way. It's just for some reason, as soon as I hear them on TV, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me. That sounds like us.
What?
Yeah, any accent.
That's incredible.
I don't know.
Something is really weird about your ears and whatever. Something about vocal tonality. That's something we've learned in this podcast.
Yeah, I can't do impressions. I can't manipulate my voice in any interesting way. I can't.
Everyone sounds the same to you. It's like you're sound blind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I literally think that is the case. Is there some kind of
what a monotone world you must exist in?
That's why I'm so sad.
It's like, it's like when dogs could only see in black and white. But it's very limited.
All the songs sound the same. Crucially, the area school event did not occur in isolation. In the 48 hours leading up to September 16th, the date of the primary event, a significant wave of UFO sightings were reported across southern Africa, particularly in Zambia and Zimbabwe. Did you know this?
You knew about the UFO sightings previous?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so you know all about this story then?
Yes.
Like there's nothing I can say that will surprise you. Like
we will see.
Like they found the alien.
Yes, that would surprise me, but it seems like a very cheap thing that you tried to get in for like some thrill. And so I don't think it is in there.
You are too crafty, my friend. You are onto me. Eyewitnesses from various locations. Fucking eye trouble today.
Yeah,
Eyewitnesses from various locations reported observing a large, bright, fireball-like object that traversed through the sky at around 9 p.m. on September 14th. This event itself was preceded by a large sonic boom heard across the country, which allegedly rattled doors and windows. Local UFO researcher Cynthia Hind, the editor of the periodical UFO Afri News and the African representative for MUFON, that's MUFON, which is the Mutual UFO Network, which I guess is like a international organization.
I'm aware of their work.
I'm a subscriber. It's an organization developed around the idea of attempting to debunk UFO sightings so that only the strongest sightings are left as credible instances. They had documented these reports after receiving various calls describing individual sightings over this time period. Cynthia had also heard the large explosion that was believed to have been connected with these new sightings on the night of the 14th and was already investigating the emerging situation. The news had reported that the noise had emanated from a meteor shower, but Cynthia herself, like any good UFO nut, wasn't convinced, as there had been an influx of sightings in the days prior, like a sighting of some bright lights that were aligned in a row above Lake Kariba that had moved erratically, unlike a meteor. God, I hope that happens to us.
Wouldn't it be great if we were these kids?
I just, all I need is God to smile down at me and like some plane to fly over at the right time while we're on this trip at night. Just give me.
We can make hay out of it at the very least.
Yes, please, God, please.
And we'll believe it regardless.
Yeah, no matter.
It's not even that much of a miracle. Come on.
Please.
This is the home of flights. Isn't this incredible that we are going into the middle of the desert begging to see a plane?
Yeah, you reckon it's actually the lights that we're coming out here to see is like the spirit of Qantas old. Our national carrier.
No wonder it's called the Spirit of Australia.
Yeah. It lives out here.
It could be.
God, that'd be sick. Beyond these nocturnal fireball sightings, Hind also documented other contemporaneous reports of similar unexplained activity. For example, these included a daylight sighting by a young boy and his mother, as well as an account from a commercial trucker who reported an encounter with alien beings on a road. These various events contributed to a broader pattern of reported high strangeness in the region at the specific time, which, of course, contributed to a media frenzy or UFO mania within Zimbabwe. And I have some videos here, actually. Let's have a look at these videos. The editor's going to put them up. What's that?
This is the fireball stuff.
No, I actually got archive footage from the news station at the time. I don't know.
Hundreds of people today phoned the ZBC and the BBC correspondent in Harare saying they sighted an unidentified flying object last night. We have some eyewitness reports.
And then
I wonder where that guy is now.
He's been abducted.
Oh, okay. So that's why he's in this file footage.
Yeah.
I was wondering. It just seems to be
a random
a news report.
Here we go. No, it was this continuation. I don't know why I clipped them.
It was a bright, radiant light. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
It was sounds like an Aussie to you.
Noise I didn't like.
Yeah, this is from Longreach.
Yeah, this is Australian.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Now, what do you think? Come on.
That's really good footage. I really like it.
That's good UFO footage.
This would be better than ours.
From above Lake Kariba.
I will say that the South African accents add some legitimacy to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They sound so royal somehow. I don't know what it is with their accents. They sound very authentic.
It was a bright, radiant light. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was the absence of noise I didn't like.
Yeah, I like it. It's very Australian. Sounds like home.
You are too Americanized, Jackson.
I really am.
Are. I can guarantee you, this is our audience cannot tell the difference between South African, New Zealand, and Australian.
Oh no, they absolutely
and neither
can.
You.
They can. I'm very unique.
All right, prove me wrong in the comments. Yeah. Can you tell the difference between any of them? But I'll give you some credit. I can't tell the difference between Canadians and Americans until they say a boot, and that's it. Yeah, that's the only way to find out.
Certain verbs, yeah. On one hand, this clustering of sightings is a common feature in ufological. Is that how you pronounce it? Ufological or UFO-logical?
I would say UFO-logical, and logically, I think I'm wrong for doing that.
I'm going to say ufological because it's one word.
Sounds right.
Yeah, ufological studies and can suggest a genuine external phenomenon being witnessed by many. On the other hand, of course, it can also be indicative of heightened public awareness and as such, misidentification. That could just be a firefly in the sky. As for the eventual explanation of the mass sightings that took place in the immediacy before the area school incident, well, the primary skeptical explanation for the fireball sighting centers on the re-entry of...
What?
Space debris, satellites of an alien kind. No, of humankind.
It has to be.
Unfortunately, unless you count Russians as aliens, then no.
Yeah, but what are they hiding? How did they find out how to make satellites? Through trial and error?
Russians?
I think not.
Yeah. Yeah, from the aliens. They visited Lennon. According to researcher and skeptic Brian Dunning, known for his weekly podcast Skeptoid. Yeah, I knew that was going to get you.
How could you have a more ridiculous name for the Skeptic podcast than you can for UFO Research Society? Mufa sounds way more legit.
Skeptoid. The object widely reported across southern Africa was likely the re-entry of the Zenit 2 rocket booster. And I looked it up from the launch of the Cosmos 2290 satellite. There were like hundreds of these things launched within like 1 month.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was like crazy. Those Russians are constantly launching Cosmos 2290s at the time.
At the collapse of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, I
They're
guess.
still doing it.
Maybe they were sending people up to get out of there.
Trying to mine the moon, get a last little economic boost for it. Maybe we can make it through the 93 quarter.
We'll finally win the space race. This launched on the 26th of August, just a few weeks earlier. So, yeah, the timeline does add up. The object's trajectory and the timing of its decay in the atmosphere could plausibly account for the widespread sightings of a nocturnal fireball. Some of the remains of the satellite were also found just outside Harare. Regardless of the cause, these local events had suddenly been impactful in the region, to the point where a lot of people had their own individual experiences at the time. Some of these can be seen in the comments left by people on an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. Joe Rogan Experience number 1547. And I apologized last week. Apparently I was sleep deprived and called it the Jeff Rogan Experience on an episode.
And that triggered people, did
Yeah, it did. No, very, very unfortunate.
He was
mistake.
referring to a different podcast.
Yeah,
It's the second most listened to in the world.
You guys wouldn't know it.
Jeff Rogan. Yeah, because you're not true connoisseurs.
No, every time
The much less famous Rogan brother.
Every time someone looks up Jeff Rogan, they get redirected to Joe Rogan. So Jeff Rogan's out there like, fuck, dude.
Oh, no.
God, no one's looking up my experiences. I'm trying so hard. That's gotta suck. Poor Jeff Rogan.
Yeah, man.
This episode's sponsored by Jeff Rogan. Go check out Jeff Rogan.
Yeah. And his side producer, James.
I'm very committed to not being wrong. So the topic was the Ariel school UFO incident and the preceding sightings. One person wrote, quote, "I wasn't at the school, of course," that's a good start, "but we saw the spaceship hovering right above our hospital yard. It was a phenomenal experience that left us with lots of questions. We're still trying to make sense of the event." Another writes, quote, these are in the comments, "I saw something in the sky around the time in Bulawayo, 450 kilometers south of Harare. I remember my mum telling me, don't say anything at school the next day as we might get laughed at. However, it was quite the opposite. Everyone was talking about it." Another shares another lengthy story, quote, "My elder sibling starts calling us to come outside. She's yelling hysterically, not panicking, but joyfully hysterical. I ran out via the kitchen, siblings in tow. We looked up and saw what I can only describe as an unfamiliar circular-shaped object hovering above us. Maybe it is what's being discussed here. Maybe it isn't. But I know what I saw, and I remember how it felt so vividly." So can you really discount that?
No, anytime anyone says, "I know what I saw," that's enough for me.
That is proof.
That's as good as a photograph.
Yeah.
Do you have the same thing? When somebody says that very specific, definitive sentence, I always think, no, they've seen something. They said that they've seen something.
Yeah, I've met enough cookers to know.
I know what I saw doesn't hold weight.
Yeah, no, it doesn't hold weight. No. And I know
Why
it
are you
doesn't.
hanging around so many cookers?
I don't know.
Because you want to know the truth.
They're fun. They're the only ones that know because they know what they've seen. One of the days they will come up with something incredible though, which is going to be great. But
okay, you're weeding your way through them.
What's interesting though, and as we were talking at dinner, you'll actively believe these people, but as soon as more than one of these people has the same opinion, that's where you come in and discount.
Yeah, nah, I don't buy it anymore.
Yeah, why?
I think it's something about contamination or it. I can imagine someone seeing something and then people just Chinese whispering it, but not whispering it. They're saying it to each other and making it louder. And that probably makes it even more fantastical very quickly.
So you really do buy into like just general mass hysteria kind of events?
I think that it happens.
It absolutely
I don't think
happens.
that you can dismiss every UFO sighting ever as mass hysteria like Wikipedia does. That's the bane of my existence. That actually does trigger me a lot. I can't remember what they're called. There's a group of people that go into Wikipedia and change every UFO sighting to mass hysteria as a...
They have a group name, like a cult.
Not a cult. It's going a bit far, but they're like a... screw it. Yeah, cult. They're a cult.
Yeah. Let's
Just to confirm Jackson's bias.
Disavow them.
Everything's a cult.
Yeah. There's a guy at the top of this group that goes around editing Wikipedia pages that gets all the bitches as well. all the Wikipedia editors. It's a giant sex cult. We'll cover that on a future episode of Red Thread.
I'm so glad that I'm not part of the Wikipedia sex cult. What a crap cult to be a part of.
There's still time. Yeah, you have to have sex with a sweaty nerd and then go in and edit Wikipedia pages.
Yeah.
And you know,
and then he's going to edit what the sexual experience was like.
It was great. It was awesome sex. Chapter 2, a school under invasion, which is not a good segue.
And I read on.
That was awful. Actually, this is a better segue. Real quick, a word from our sponsors. Hey guys, it's Jackson here, cutting in real quick to talk to you about something pretty cool and interesting that myself and Kira, who is the researcher of this show, are doing. And that is, we're making tea. That's right. I'm here announcing our new company, Soul Syrup, where we create delicious, high-quality tea blends, artisanal tea blends even, that will make you go, yummy. And it is important to us because we wanted to create something that was, pretty significant to myself and Kira. And as chronic tea drinkers, we do love tea. So it was really the perfect fit for us when we challenged ourselves at the start of the year to create something kind of entirely just between us two, between Kira and myself, and tea was a logical fit with that. So yeah, we have 7 blends. We've got a black tea, a chai tea, a green tea, an oolong, a white, as well as 2 herbal teas as well. So we've got a wide array of different tea types to suit any kind of mood or motivation. Cool packaging as well. I find that they're really cool to sit on a bookshelf as well, which is great because you do a lot of tea drinking while you're reading books. So we thought, why not create cool little packages that, you can collect and put on bookshelves. We've had a lot of fun creating this tea. We're very proud of it. We think all of our blends are delicious and, you'll find something that you like if you want to try it out. Obviously, no pressure. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass or anything and claim that it cures psoriasis or makes you grow 6 inches taller or whatever. It won't. It's just, nice tea. It does what I'm claiming. You put it in your cup, you heat it up, you let it sit for a few minutes, and then you have delicious, high quality, loose leaf tea. Made locally as well over here in Australia by ourselves with our own hands. So yeah, Soul Syrup, you can get 15% off right now with code REDTHREAD. We're open over at soulsyrup.com.au. Free shipping over certain thresholds in Australia, United States, and the UK, so you can get free shipping as well. Unfortunately, we couldn't make that work for the other countries because shipping internationally is expensive, but we did make it work with Australia, United States, and UK. So code REDTHREAD at soulsyrup.com.au. Very excited to get this in your guys' hands. Like I said, we're very proud of it. It's been a lot of work. But yeah, it's something that we're both very passionate about, Kira as well, and we can't wait to, get feedback on it, come up with some new blends as well, and see what you guys like the most because, like I said, I love the lovers, and Kira loves High Priestess the most, which is why these two are our starter set as well. There's a starter set available over at soulsyrup.com.au. You also get a little soul strainer, which is our custom strainer, that you can use to obviously steep the tea. So very excited about this. Thank you very much for listening to me ramble on about it. If you are at all interested in it, soulsyrup.com.au. And we thank you so much for your support if you choose to, give it a shot. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Chapter 2, a school under invasion. During the mid-morning recess at the Ariel school, students were enjoying their lunch period by playing in the sun or by resting in the shade of the trees. It was so far a quiet and uneventful day, and the children were more or less left to their own devices while the teachers of the school were busy with an administrative meeting in the main building. At approximately 10:15 a.m., the children suddenly noticed a buzzing noise from above. It disappeared briefly before returning louder than before. They then saw the appearance of a structured metallic disc-shaped craft hanging in the sky above the tree line just beyond the playground. The craft, covered in flashing lights, then descended and landed a wooded brush-filled area approximately 100 meters from the edge of the school's playground. This area was out of the school bounds, and the students instead hung at the perimeter while they watched the craft land. Following the landing, the buzzing stopped and the students then saw the appearance of several humanoid figures standing outside the craft. The most detailed descriptions of the figures record the beings as being approximately 1 meter or between 3 and 4 feet tall with a slender neck. It's always slender necks or slender like features. Like I always think of that. Whenever there's like a alien sighting, it's never like he was morbidly obese or something like that. It's always just the most stereotypical alien depiction you would get from like a video game or whatever's popular at the time, popular movivies.
You find that less believable or more believable?
Way less believable.
So they're believable if they're fat.
Well, no, and that was an example. What I mean is, like, it's less believable if someone's like, "Oh yeah, it looked exactly like E.T., man." Like, obviously, yes, Steven Spielberg based E.T. on actual existing
on your
aliens.
sighting.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think that if there is a intelligent life force that is coming to see us, they would all look the same? Or do you think it's like MIB and there should be a confederacy of different aliens coming and visiting us?
No, all the aliens should look the same. Like whatever alien does visit us, obviously they should look the same. What I'm saying is the visual appearance of them should not conform to our standards of what a species should look like. It should be something absolutely fucking mind-blowing. Like we couldn't even create it. Like you could give an artist like $1 million and say create an alien, a totally unique alien, and it would some elements of it would still be kind of taken from other sources.
So you don't like the idea of the bug guys then?
What are the bug guys? Which one?
Well, the big eyes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. The stereotypical alien.
Yeah,
like as soon as
aliens.
it becomes that, I'm like, no, that didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
No, it has to be something totally like because we don't know. For it to be one of those like bug-eyed freaky alien dudes, like the big eye ones, I think if they're that humanoid, they had to exist on a planet very similar to Earth, like in terms of like ecosystem.
And what's wrong with that theory?
It's just mathematically impossible for two Earths to exist, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. Surely,
surely it's the opposite of mathematically impossible.
It's mathematically guaranteed.
Mathematically guaranteed.
Well, then why
right?
isn't it mathematically guaranteed that there aren't 3 Earths?
There should be 3 Earths.
How many Earths?
Well, maybe
are there
they've
then?
just got a different jersey on. It's like seeing the manly sea eagles in real life. There might be subtle differences that you're not looking at. I think probably if everyone is seeing these aliens and they are real, I think it's probably the time travel theory, don't you? It's us, but 1 million years in the future.
Oh,
and so we don't have any distinguished features. And we've all interbred with each other.
So we've like, oh, okay.
You don't think?
Well, then, yeah, maybe that is why we're always like portrayed as like super great giant eyes because we're all raised on like digital ecosystems for like hundreds of thousands of years, and we evolved to that where our eyes, are perfect for seeing computer screens in the dark.
Yeah, I think so.
And our skin is like permanently grey from
uploading
no sun.
on buffer. Yeah,
yeah. Actually, you might be right. Fuck.
I think that makes sense, especially because if you look at human beings evolving, we seem to be becoming more and more bug-like.
I mean, look at me, right? I'm slouched over.
You are a bug.
I'm very. I can't lean too far back because it's like bad for the
camera. Hurts my back.
Everything's uncomfortable right now. I'm 3 steps ahead in the evolutionary chain.
Defensive position.
Ever
like ready to scurry away.
I'm like a beetle. It's called stage presence.
And you've mastered it.
Yeah. This description aligns closely with the so-called grey alien archetype prevalent in modern ufology. I almost wrote urology, which is like so not ufology. No, it's no penis stuff yet.
It'll come.
At the appearance of the creature, a large amount of children screamed, pussies, before fleeing back towards the classrooms. This caught the attention of the visitors, who turned towards the remaining children who were frozen in place. Some of the witnesses reported being unable to move, even though they were desperately attempting to do so. One of the alien creatures was then said to move across the uneven, rough terrain towards the children, before stopping at a distance of several meters away from the playground's boundary. Must have been a registered sex offender.
Yeah, no, he knew his distances.
He couldn't get too close.
He couldn't get too.
Yeah.
A sex offender from the future.
He teleports back right in front of a school. He's like, damn, I had one shot at teleportation and this is where I land up. Can't go any further.
Hey, I wasn't in the premise.
All right, so just to show you some pictures here, these are up on the screen. This is where the playground was. This is where the landing site was. Oh, it's gone.
And it's just like that.
Awesome. It's a magic trick. And yeah, so that's an aerial perspective of like a Google Maps scan of it, showing how big the field is. They were all the way over here, and that's where the landing was said to be. And that's the landing site in 1994. And that is a child. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's all coming together.
Are you seeing anything peculiar? No? Moving on.
Just looking at a field.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess.
It was a solid inclusion, if I do say so myself. The interaction between the being and the children was reported to be non-verbal. I'm not going to make the joke.
I was wondering if we can.
Nah.
I think that we'd get immediately demonetized for everything except for our sponsor, and I don't think our sponsor would be coming back.
Yeah, moving on. Some of the older children in particular describe receiving a form of telepathic communication. The communication was not linguistic, but consisted of a series of images and concepts conveyed directly to their minds, like a film reel, a PowerPoint presentation, or more aptly today, a TikTok video.
Is that what who wrote that? Or for today's standards, is that what you chucked in there? Jackson, I very much like how you're keeping up with the times.
Yep.
For those who don't know what TikTok is, it is an extended and improved version of Vine.
Here's 3 pages on the history of TikTok. The primary themes of these messages were environmental and cautionary. Images of polluted rivers, dying forests, and unknown technology were projected into the minds of the witnesses, believed to be intended as an omen about humanity's potential for eventual self-destruction. One of the witnesses, Salma, took a step forward and she saw more images transmitted into her mind, which instructed her to step forward again. She sensed that the aliens were attempting to take her with them. We have another video here of this interview with Salma that we are going to play now.
What did these spacemen look like?
He looked like definitely not a human. I don't know really. He had a big head and big black eyes and was dressed in a black bodysuit. Tight fitting.
And what were his arms and his hands and his legs like?
Like humans, but he definitely didn't look like one. His head was
much too large. I don't know why I cut off there. Much too large.
You can't be a kid with that accent, can you?
Why not?
You just sound like you're 40 as soon as you've got a South African accent. They sound too prim and proper.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought it was like the Queen's English. Maybe not like British, but like Australian.
It sounds almost more educated than British.
Yeah.
You'd have to get pretty high up the food chain in British accents.
It is very prim and proper. I think that's the right way of saying it.
I mean, look, she definitely sounds like she's like more knowledgeable than someone from Birmingham.
Yeah, this was a privileged school. Like they did have the people.
But I don't think I've ever heard a bogan South African accent. Do they sound that different to that? I think they all sound like that. I think it's sort of like Australian accents. There's not really a difference.
What? It kind of sounds like Gina Reinhardt.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's a good call.
Maybe that is why I am so... Gina Reinhardt's like a mining magnate over in Australia for Americans. But yeah, you look her up, she sounds exactly like that. And I reckon that's why I think that they sound Australian.
Okay, so it is a combination of going to a fancy private school in a desert somehow makes you have that accent.
Yeah. I think it's the Gina Reinhardt effect. That's what we're calling it from now on. Yeah, it's got to be that. Eventually, the recess bell sounded behind the children, which caused the alien to return to the craft, which silently lifted off and departed at high speed. While it had felt to the witnesses like only a few seconds, the entire event had actually lasted around 15 minutes. As soon as the craft departed, it was as if a spell had been broken, and the children who had witnessed the event were immediately overcome with fear and confusion. Let me reiterate, pussies.
They are 10.
Yeah, but they're not. They're like 40 now. It's fine. Get over it.
Should have got over it. I was wondering why, because if you look on the screen now, there seems to be somebody that looks like the kid from Sixth Sense, all grown up, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if he was a child that had that weird disease where you age 8 years for every year.
I was gonna say he saw the aliens. And it was so traumatic. He grew a beard.
He grew a beard and it went grey immediately.
Yeah. It's like that episode of Futurama. They turned and ran screaming into the school building where they alerted the teachers, who were themselves just leaving the meeting they had already been attending. The teachers, including the headmaster, the guy we're talking about, Colin Mackey, up on screen right now, initially dismissed the claims as the product of overactive imaginations. However, isn't that a good thing? Aren't kids meant to have that? Why is he criticizing that?
Oh, I don't think that he's criticizing it. I think he's pawning it off as, wow, this school's really worth its extremely exorbitant tuition fees. We've got them come up with a pretty stock standard story collectively.
He's packaging it as like a way to like award himself the headmaster of the year. So he was a bit confused why they were doing that. However, the sheer number of children offering the same story and their genuine state of panic and distress convinced the staff that something significant had in fact happened. When the teachers then went to investigate themselves, they discovered nothing out of the ordinary. However, this didn't stop the students from sticking to their stories and their commitment to their testimonies, and this caused the teachers considerable concern. There was a collective belief that the students did witness something. What that something was, however, was unknown. After parents found out about the events from their children, they came to the school the following day to find out from the faculty what had happened. The children were then instructed to draw what they had seen that day, and the similarities between the drawings were extremely compelling, especially given that the children were separated while drawing, at least on this first day. I have a video right here from...
You're headmaster of Ariel School. Tell me, what do you think of all this?
I feel sure that the children feel that they did see something. I don't believe or disbelieve, to be perfectly honest. But I do feel that they definitely saw something. We had a number of children say they did. We asked them to draw pictures of what they saw this morning, what they saw on Friday. And after looking at those, I definitely feel that they did see something. I agree that it could be something that we are not common with. But to actually say that it was a UFO, I would be reluctant to make a decision like that. I personally did not see it.
Don't you think he's going to regret that now? The fact that his tie had blown to the right and wasn't down the center. Because a lot of people have seen that footage.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. You're right.
For his sake, and I don't mean to be mean about this, but like I'd welcome death. I would welcome death at that point.
Well, I'll take an opposite opinion. I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah, I hope he's doing all right as well. But man, that's going to play with your mind. I reckon that's going to be one of your last thoughts. Why didn't the camera guy just tell me to put it?
Yeah, that's a dick move.
It's so dicky.
That's so interesting that's what you were thinking about during that video, is just his tie. I was thinking about how awesome it would be to live in that time period. It looks so nice. I don't know what it is about like old VHS footage of the olden days, like the 90s and 80s, but it looks so much nicer.
Doesn't it? And particularly in Zimbabwe, I just don't know what's going on there. Well, imagine there's a lot of giraffes walking around in the school. And
I think it's just a cool place to hang out, I guess.
I think so.
Colin Mackey went there. He seems pretty happy. He could have been bored there. I don't know. I'm just assuming he went there to teach. All right, so we have the students, some pictures of like a collage of the drawings. And as you'll notice, they're pretty sick. No complaints. And they do look like the stereotypical ET, except with polka dots and long hair.
Yeah, that seems to be more a, what do you think the Easter Bunny looks like?
If it was an alien.
Chucked in there.
Fenwick was getting very creative with the assignment.
Wasn't he?
I respect it. And then there's fucking Slender Man for some reason.
Yeah, Slender Man squished.
Yeah. And also they didn't respect those photos enough to actually photocopy them in high quality. They just said, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, we tried it once.
We've done 63 at this point.
Yeah. We get it.
Yeah. You saw an alien. The parents and some faculty members also investigated the field behind the school where the children claimed to have seen the UFO land in an attempt to find additional evidence that might help shed some light on the event. They didn't find anything out of the ordinary, but they did find that some brush had scientifically been proven to have been flattened. Which, while interesting, wasn't conclusive evidence that extraterrestrials had visited. The following Monday, immediately after the weekend when children were expected to return to the school, the fervor had been dialed up a further notch, and Colin Mackey was inundated by parents who demanded to know what had caused their children to be traumatized. The fear was so gripping that many students refused to come back to school in the following weeks, with some even changing schools entirely. It's a fucking alien. It can find you anywhere.
I don't know why that's going to help.
It's not attracted to the school. Colin Mackey, concerned about the well-being of his students, decided that he needed to seek expert assistance. I was going to give them more shit by saying, these 12-year-olds or whatever are pussies, but at the same time, I'm remembering now back when I was like 10, and I actually was traumatized by a puppet show. My parents took me to this shut up, this super old like building on the Gold Coast, and in it was just super dark, and they did this like random puppet show, just like finger puppets, and I cried immediately and wanted out.
All right, Jackson.
I was 24.
You were a bit yes, I think it sounds like you're a bit too old for that. Why were you crying about the big finger puppets?
I might have been younger than 10. Well, my point is, I thought,
change the story.
Yeah, I was three months old.
You 3 months old, right? Yeah.
I don't know how old I was, but regardless, like, yes. I think they were actually aliens. Like the finger puppets were aliens, so maybe.
Were they?
Yeah.
But they've got no expressions. It sounds pretty shit, really.
Well, once I got through the crying, it was all right.
To watch a finger puppet show.
A puppet show still a thing? Like, do kids like puppet shows?
Probably not since the Renaissance, don't you
Probably
think?
not since YouTube Kids.
Yeah.
That's modern puppet shows. Chapter 3, the investigation. By this point in time, Cynthia Hind was told of the satellite that was likely the cause of the sonic boom recently heard in Harare and across Zimbabwe. While this seemed like a plausible answer, it didn't explain the various other sightings that had been occurring, and it didn't do much to dismiss the granularity in eyewitness descriptions of certain events. Local news outlets had also encouraged witnesses to reach out to talk about their experience with reporters, which led to hundreds of different experiences being logged to the local news station and the BBC station. The reports, much like the Ariel school UFO incident itself, were too detailed to be dismissed as a simple meteor shower. It was at this time that Tim Leach, the local BBC correspondent for Zimbabwe and a well-respected war zone reporter, became interested in the mania that was sweeping Harare. He had come to hear about the sightings at Ariel School after someone had called in about it and had been the first on the scene on the 19th of September when he visited to film some interviews with the students and the faculty, so he was the first interviewer. Tim was shocked by the stories of the children, and even he, a skeptic who had been on the front lines of several war zones at this point and seen like co-reporters get shot right in front of him and shit like that.
And he was disturbed by this.
He was shaken by the stories that he couldn't make sense of. I'm convinced.
Okay, he is a pussy.
Oh, come on. He's got PTSD.
Oh, is that what's going on there?
I don't know. I'm making shit up. I feel bad for him.
Then I choose to continue to insult him.
The consistency
an
and
incomplete picture.
Sincerity was having the same effect on Tim as it had on the faculty of the school. He was sure that the children had witnessed something. He just couldn't make sense of what that something was. He was quoted saying, quote, "I could handle war zones, but I could not handle this," end quote.
This was his finger puppet show.
Yeah, this at 44. He reached out to Cynthia Hind and urged her to investigate the incident as well. Why would that be scary?
I don't know why he's freaked out about that.
Yeah, why would it be scary?
Job is he's a night crawler in Africa. He's seen a lot of macheted bodies, and this is the thing that scares me.
Like, even if it was real, what's scary? That's fucking awesome. I'd be hyped.
Yeah, me too.
Like, if we see what we're out here to see tomorrow night, would you be scared?
No. Even if they abducted me and probed me, still wouldn't be scared.
Nah, I'd probably be scared then.
Would you get freaked out by that?
I don't want to lose
See, but this is the whole thing. It's something
virginity.
about you and fingers. You don't like it, do you?
I hope they're using fingers. I'm used to fingers.
Okay, so you not prefer the glowing probe. You just want one of their, as they keep saying over and over, slender digits.
I'm like, look over my shoulder. You can fit more. Try
Is it
two.
in yet?
they get like cock envy, cock shy. They get embarrassed and leave. Come on, I can take it.
Jesus Christ, Jackson.
Is this allowed on YouTube?
I think that this is the main reason that you ordered all of this, isn't it?
Yeah, this is why
Hopefully, so you can maybe get date raped by an alien.
I want to get lucky. This is why we don't do live recordings. This is stupid. Anyway. I'm admitting to things I never thought I'd admit to. He reached out to Cynthia Hind and urged her to investigate the incident as well, which didn't take much convincing for Cynthia to agree to. They agreed to meet at the school the following day, where Cynthia came to the same conclusions as Tim had. She was similarly shaken by the interviews she conducted that day, as even in her 20 years investigating UFOs for MUFON, she had never experienced anything like this before. In particular, Cynthia had found the minor embellishing details or inconsistencies in the children's stories as further evidence that they may have actually been telling the truth. In her opinion, if all 62 students had told the exact same story, down to the most minute details being consistent, it may have seemed rehearsed or scripted. However, since there were some students whose testimony seemed to contradict or embellish certain details without going overboard, it seemed as though there was no coerciveness to the evidence, or they were kids and they were like one-upping each other.
Is she saying that there was minute differences and there wasn't ones big enough for them to be discounted?
Yeah, like the entire, let's say the chronology of the events remained consistent. It's just like
he had
alien,
a party hat on.
Yeah. So something small that like each of the kids picked up on that, you know, might have been contradicted, but it was such a small detail that it's like it can be rationalized as like, well, the other kid just missed it.
I can see her reasoning in that. I've got no training in psychology at all, but I think that she's right. And I don't think that she has any training in psychology either.
Okay, I'll throw my hat in the ring as someone without training. I don't know why we're like clarifying we don't have any training in psychology, but yes.
Yeah, but make sure that you do that.
Me
right?
too. Also, no training. In fact, never graduated.
So then, why are we
university.
listening to you then, Jackson?
Good point. I'll continue.
Oh no! Come on, tell us this. Don't just leave us hanging. What was
I don't
it?
even remember what I was going to say. It's an
You can't even. Oh fuck!
Memory
I'm sure
issues.
it was awesome.
Yeah, it would have been fucking. It would have made the episode.
Blown your mind. Finally,
It
the
would have
missing
convinced
detail of
you.
this story.
Oh no, I was going to say all that reads to me as is just someone who really wants aliens to be real. Like it's the kind of justification I would make in my own head to convince myself that the kids were telling the truth.
That's actually a very good observation. And once you say that, I can't unsee it.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing I'd do. I'd be like, well, actually, they're all telling the truth because I want it to be that way. It has to be that way, please. It's my job. However, since there were some students whose testimony seemed to, I've read that, the core of the story, the main details all remain consistent across every interview, and that was especially interesting to Cynthia and everyone else, as all 62 students were committed to the core concept that a UFO had touched down in the field and several aliens had been witnessed. We have another video here of 3 more children.
And it landed. Something landed. Do you see it land?
No, it was in the trees over there, like in the trees, like glinting, and like there was somebody on the ground.
And then what happened?
And then he walked towards us, and he walked back again, and they just went.
How? How did they go?
It just went all of a sudden.
What, like a helicopter? Went
No,
up?
just went
Which way?
more down into the valley,
At about what height?
quite high, like.
And then what happened?
And then it didn't come back again.
And did you girls see that as well?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Well, that's enough proof
Man,
for
it's
me.
cool uniforms. He looks like he is a safari adventurer.
He does, yeah. He looks like a young Steve Irwin or something. Like kind of like khakis.
Why don't we have those?
We do. We made them. Like Australia or what? What do you mean? You fucking went to like a private school. Fuck off.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
No.
Oh,
I
my
went to a
bad.
Povo Public.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't you go to like a performing arts school or something?
Yeah, but it was public. It wasn't.
Oh, it was public.
No, I wasn't paying for tubers and
Oh,
things.
okay.
I was getting
Damn.
The seats at our school in our theatre were from an old porn cinema that they'd brought in.
That seems like it should be illegal.
Shouldn't it? I'll never forget when someone sat down and good old Jesse Searles said, "Careful, Cagney, you might get pregnant."
Oh, Jesus, dude. And all right, yeah, that is public schools. Never mind. You are just like me. Regardless.
Without those sick uniforms.
I swear, like that uniform.
What, you used to wear that dress, did you, Jackson?
Yeah. I wish, my figure. No, like
if
that.
only I was slim enough.
Come on, you zip me up. You put me in there. No, I was gonna say like my primary school. Like I'm pretty sure our I was gonna say
you
costumes.
look like Steve Irwin.
Uniform, not the Steve Irwin one. The blue shit on the right. Not the dress, but
But
like,
it's a dress, Jackson.
no, imagine that, like that,
Yeah, but the
pattern.
girls, whatever, they're nothing.
You're not interested in that one.
It's this guy here, daring, handsome adventurer extraordinaire.
Yeah, no,
And he just looks way more alpha as well. He's telling off the journalist, and he's 11 years old.
Yeah, that
It's
is
just like,
pretty
it just
sad.
went. It went.
Yeah.
What more do you need to know?
What do
It's
you
like
have to
he's
say
like
about
an
that?
official. He looks like an official dressed in it as well. It's like, there's nothing else to see here.
Yeah, he looks like a spook. You're right.
Yeah.
He's covering it up. It didn't just go.
What do you need to know more?
It didn't just go. It's still there, but everyone's convinced otherwise because this kid said so. If they just looked, they'd see it.
Suit maketh the man, I'm telling you.
Regardless of their shared belief that something had happened at Ariel's school, everyone involved was unsure of how to progress. Cynthia decided to enlist the help of a man by the name of John Mack, a Harvard University professor of psychiatry. Yeah. Okay, good. Specializing in child psychiatry. Cynthia thought that John Mack was the right person to conduct a scientific investigation into the Ariel school incident, as he had spent the last 10 years researching UFO sightings as well as alien abduction phenomena in children. Just as a reminder, I know I fuck up words a lot anyway, but I do have an excuse. It's almost 11 o'clock at night and we've been in the car since 5 a.m. So.
And unlike me, you weren't sleeping the entire time.
No, instead my brain was being baked by the sun directly through the windshield.
And your eyes.
It was a nightmare.
That's fucked, isn't it? 12 hours of you staring in the sun.
It's no wonder people see aliens out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Really what they're seeing is their retinas being burned.
Yeah. You know when you like stare at the sun or whatever and then you like
And then the
squint away?
dots move away. It
the
just
dots.
moved from side to side like this.
It's the min lights. I see them. Spoiler, I guess, what we're doing here. We're staring at the sun until we go crazy.
Couldn't have done that at home.
Had to drive 20 hours for that. The sun's different out here. Cynthia thought that John Mack was the right person to conduct a scientific investigation into the Ariel school incident, as he had spent the last 10 years researching UFO sightings as well as alien abduction phenomena in children. As the author of the book Abductions, he was historically well respected and was a frequent contributor to news shows. However, his reputation was going through a sort of rough period due to his abandonment of his academic work and his focus on the extraterrestrial. Is that annoying when you dedicate your like life to learning this thing and then you get a hobby and everyone bitches?
Wouldn't that be fucked?
Yeah, just let the
That's
dude,
horrible.
Let the dude fucking check out UFOs and shit. What's wrong with that? It's not like he's hurting anyone. He just fucking likes UFOs. He's done his time.
He has.
Let him go.
This is a tenured dude.
Yeah, he's tenured at Harvard. He's earned his. He's
allowed to
it.
have some weird little eccentricities. Who amongst these tenured Harvard scholars wouldn't?
Well, I mean,
they'd all be obsessed with something like shrunken heads or.
Not just that. I mean, there's another one that's coming up. I'll keep going. I'll bring him up when it comes down to it. As the author of the book Abduction, I've already said that. He believed that people shouldn't dismiss abduction stories as mental illness, saying on a network television show, quote, "Again, the whole thing has made me re-examine all these notions of have happened or didn't happen. For them, it is completely real and it is not the product of mental illness. Now, whether it happened altogether in this reality, I don't know, but it shows up in their world," end quote. So basically, like, because they believe it happened, you know.
Yeah, but also he's talking about
It happened.
interdimensionally. It might have happened.
It happened across
in
dimensions.
another dimension.
That's proof.
Quite a strange theory to think about.
Yeah,
right now, somewhere you are getting probed, Jackson. Your greatest wish. It is happening.
Why am I stuck in this timeline? How do I dimensional hop?
What have I dimensionally done wrong?
Isn't that funny though that there is an infinite amount of realities, which means that no matter what, there is a reality where I am getting probed. I love that. Infinite is like a terrifying concept because my ass really can't take that much damage.
If that's the case, there's also one where you're like a grand wizard mage.
Oh fuck! Why am I me? Why am I in this reality?
This reality is quite stock standard. We're right in the middle of the bell curve, aren't we? It's pretty good.
No,
it's not grand mage wizard.
True. I was gonna make the extreme case of like, there's not a single other fucking dimensional reality where that Jackson's going, man, I wish I was podcasting right now. It doesn't exist. They're all like, fuck, I wish I was being fingered by an alien.
Yeah, I know. Look, there is also like another reality where you're that fat principal saying like, I don't know, the kids think they saw something, but maybe they didn't. And then you just disappear and Ty was on the other side in that dimensional reality. So look, man, it can get worse. That's what I'm saying.
It can get worse. You're right.
Your tie could be crooked.
And jokes aside, I really don't want to be fingered in the ass.
Yeah, but we're just saying that there's infinite universes where that's happening, Jackson. So you think about that.
God, does that mean there's an infinite universe where they've gone beyond 10 fingers? Like how that? I mean,
yeah.
God damn.
You're getting fingered by 100 fingers right now.
Oh my God, dude. Not just by aliens. That means for every single person. Oh, infinite is such a terrifying. There's so many.
So there is a Jackson getting fingered by infinite fingers. That's happening.
Oh my God.
So look, man, you've got it pretty good.
I'll stick with podcasting. Yeah, I'm happy here now. Thanks for putting that into perspective for me. He seemed to Cynthia and Tim to be the best chance of a scientist taking the incident seriously, like we are, and they hoped that this invitation would bring with it real answers as to whatever had happened at Ariel's school, even if that answer didn't involve the extraterrestrial. Just 2 months later, John Mack visited the school to interview the witnesses. To recap his findings, he found exactly the same, that 62 children between the ages of 6 and 12 had reported seeing at least one UFO described as silver discs that appeared in the sky and then floated down to a field of brush just outside the school property. He noted that the witnesses reported that between 1 and 4 creatures with large black eyes who were dressed all in black then exited the craft and approached the children. And we have another video.
Did you see the eyes? What did they look like?
They were green like that.
Where was the pointy part? Was the pointy part in here or was the pointy part out there?
I know where the pointy part was for me.
And what was the feeling when you looked at the eyes?
It was scary.
Mm-hmm. And what scary? Why? What made it scary?
The eyes looked evil.
Evil. Mm-hmm. And what was evil about them? Say what you mean by evil.
It looked evil because it was just staring at me.
With what? Staring at you as if what? As if to do what?
As if it wanted to come and take us.
As if it wanted to come and take you. That was the feeling you got? That it wanted you to go with it? Did you feel like you wanted to go with it? No.
Every time you show me one of these, I'm really jealous of their schooling.
You hear the choir in the background. Yeah.
They've got their cool uniforms, their cool accent. It would have been really fun being in Africa. I'm sure some of them had like pet hippos and shit. It's just a great life.
Everyone's coming from across the country, across the planet to interview you.
Yeah.
That's fucking, it's really awesome.
Because you claim you saw an alien. I'm sure I claimed I saw all kinds of shit when I was 10. No one interviewed me.
Let me get back to it though. Genuine or not genuine? What do you think about that specific interview? Because I'm not a good judge of character probably, but she seemed genuine. Like a lot of the interviews.
And I also think that.
They genuinely seem like they believe what they're talking about. Like her eyes do dart around a bit, which kind of like I would say is somewhat indicative of like searching for an answer, maybe lying. But the tone of their voice and just the consistency of what they're saying really does seem like they believe what they're saying.
Yes. And I can't remember because, and I don't even know if this is a pseudoscience or not, but there is a theory that when you're lying, you move your eyes to one side, it's either left or right. And when you're accessing your memory, you move it to the other part of your
Well, that
eyes.
would be really useful to know right now. But she did go back and forth, I thought. What does that mean?
It does indicate mass hysteria, don't you reckon? That it's sort of, I'm sort of inventing it. I'm sort of
wait. No,
remembering.
you're absolutely right. That would, again, not a psychologist, no formal training. But if you're darting back and forth, it's like you're accessing both
sides.
Yeah.
But she does seem like she is thinking long and hard about what she's saying before. And to me, that seems like she is trying to access her memory. It's not like she's trying to say the wrong. All I'm basing this off really is I think a lot of the time when people lie, they are quick to answer. They got something to hide.
Here's another thing that I find interesting about this case. What is the motive for lying in this situation? There needs to be a motive for this many people to come together and lie. All it takes is one of them saying, I lied. And yet it didn't happen.
It's very cool to think that all these kids in the middle of Zimbabwe.
I know. It's a hard pill to swallow. But
it'd be great.
I mean, it's mass hysteria does make the most sense, and we will get to that eventually. But it is a very peculiar situation, in my opinion, just based off how many possibilities there are for people to basically just confess to having lied and caused the whole situation. All it takes is one of those little chains to break, and they haven't. I mean, there was one guy we will get into eventually. He did claim that he was pranking everyone, but he had spent like 30 years reaffirming it. It seemed like he was just sick of it, and so he was like, "Yeah, I did it as a prank. I told him to look at a shiny rock
because he was tired of people asking him about it."
Yeah, but no one else, like none of the other 61 students or so, like attest to that or confirm that.
To this day, none of them are broken.
And it was on a Netflix documentary, so I immediately discredited it.
Why?
It's just I just think Netflix like builds shit like that out of nothing. They probably like guided him to that.
Ooh.
Accusations.
Okay, look, I don't know enough about media like you do. I don't know how you know all these things. But nonetheless, I am impressed.
I knew nothing about the Ariel school situation until I started researching this like 5 days ago.
You've never heard of this before?
I mean, I had heard of it. I just didn't look into it until 5 days ago. And now I'm a full believer.
I can't believe that we've switched roles.
I know, it's weird.
You want to believe this one, and I don't want to believe
this is the one where it's like, I mean, 62 people, that's a lot of people. And again, no motive to lie. And yes, you will say attention. But again, all it takes is one kid to then go, I'm actually going to get more attention by saying that we lied. So by coming clean. One guilty conscience. And then the entire thing goes up in flames.
Lying doesn't seem like that's the main motive here. It's either mass hysteria or it happened.
Yeah. And I do lean towards mass hysteria just because it's the most, there's bases for it, historical situations that have been similar, but at the same time.
Do you discuss them later?
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Crap, I want to know now.
We'll get into it.
This sucks.
After,
I want to know now.
Skip ahead. Skip ahead in the episode. After conducting the interviews, Mac reported that the events had been genuine and that he believed the children were telling the truth and that they had been visited by extraterrestrials. In one of Mac's interviews, a 5th grader named Francis told him that he was warned about something that's going to happen and that, quote, pollution mustn't be, end quote. An 11-year-old, Emma, told him, quote, I think they want people to know that we're actually making harm on this world and we mustn't get too technologed, end quote. That's a cool word.
This is from a 10-year-old, right?
Yeah.
This isn't her age 40.
This isn't from the Harvard professor.
Okay.
Or it could be. The children were adamant when speaking with Mac that they had not seen a plane, regardless of the extensive interviews conducted by first the teachers, then Leach, then Hind, and now Mac. The answers still weren't coming into focus, but the sincerity and consistency of each child's story had convinced each and every adult involved that still something had happened. I didn't include the video, but there was also like an interview with like all of the teachers at the school, and they were all like fully convinced that their kids had seen something.
Well,
whether or not it's aliens, don't know.
How were they convinced? Just because so many of them came and said
just
it.
because, again, they know their kid's the best, probably. So they know when they're like playing a prank.
Yes.
So their sincerity as well and their belief in it is kind of compelling, in my opinion. I am a true believer. You're going to have to get rid of your alien hunter shtick now. I'm pretty disappointed that you're not believing.
You are convincing me. And I somewhat am probably convinced because it's monetarily in my interest to continue being convinced by it. But still,
buy
you're
tickets
making
now.
a good case.
Buy tickets now.
Usually
to
you're
Alien Hunter.
trying to ruin everything. Like that talking mongoose. Easily the most plausible thing we've ever looked into.
Don't worry, there's still time. While Hyde and Mac were more convinced that something extraterrestrial had occurred, most people still weren't convinced. Chapter 4. The Contradictions and Biases. We'll go to that point quickly. While the details are reported as being incredibly consistent across every story, it's actually important to realize that they're not as detailed as it may seem. While the basics generally are, there are many different granular details, again, that differ depending on which storyteller is currently recounting the event. These inconsistencies generally come down to the amount of silver balls or discs, how the spacecraft came to land, where it landed, and how many aliens were involved in the event, and crucially, what they looked like. Some kids saw the beings, but not the spaceship, and some saw it the other way around. Some witnesses said that the spacecraft had windows and lights, while others said that it had stripe patterns of various different colors on the exterior. Some stories said that there had been a loud noise, like a loud buzzing noise. Some others said that there had been no noise at all. One kid even went so far as to say that the aliens were fat. I forgot about it. Never mind.
There you go.
This is why I believe it.
Yeah. You've got nowhere to run now, Jackson. They figured it out.
Oh,
they said that all the aliens were fat, did they? Or just one of them was a big boombalada?
It just says the aliens were fat. So yeah, I guess they were all fat. Fuck. That's actually super compelling.
Yes. Especially seeing as one out of the 62 said they were fat.
While others said that the aliens had long black hair. These contradictions are actually rather important, as while they individually may not seem like much, at the end of the day, the amount does add up to produce a rather inconsistent story. And we have a picture here of just two depictions. One looks like a suited man doing like a weird jazz hand dance. And then the other,
it looks like one of the IBM guys.
Yeah, and then the other looks like
a scary nun that has come back from the dead.
This looks like something from the Conjuring universe.
Yes.
Very, very demented child, which they should look into.
Okay, so what it is Conjuring Universe getting played on 7 Mate and then an ad for IBM afterwards. Yeah, that's quite different.
Can you please put that in American terminology so that our audience of primarily American people...
Okay, 7 Mate would be like your channel that I'm assuming is called 7 Pal.
No, it's probably like PBS.
It is not PBS,
Yeah,
Jason.
yeah, it's PBS.
PBS is ABC. There's no public broadcasting service.
ABC.
Coming up next, a public broadcasting service.
Home and
Cleveland
away.
show.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
What's 7 Mate over there then? I don't know, Fox.
Okay, what's your bogan channel? There's got to be some bogan channel called, I know in England it's called Dave. Oh, could you imagine watching Dave?
Oh, I can imagine.
And I'm jealous I'm not watching it right now.
Yeah. Tune over to Dave.
Anyway, there's just imagine if Home Improvement was aired 24 hours a day with integrals of anything that Seth MacFarlane's ever made. It's that channel.
I'm telling you, you don't believe me, but American Dad is great.
Yo, chat.
Oh, here we go.
Once again, you are letting us down, but let us know if you do hear this. What do you reckon about American Dad?
Yeah, I'm pro American Dad. Jordan is pro Big Mouth for some reason.
Oh, yeah, Big Mouth. Greatest show ever. So good. Holy hell. I'm sorry. We're going to have to stop for a second and talk about Big Mouth.
No,
Big
please.
Mouth, I have never sat through a cartoon that felt like it went for an hour and a half, despite it going for 22 minutes. Jackson paused it at about 4 minutes and 50 seconds, and all of us turned to each other and went, I thought we were 3/4
Yeah,
done.
oh God, that show is so bad.
It's so bad.
Somehow it made wanting to return to my dingy little roadside motel room and just going to sleep. Yeah, that was a comfort. Just stepping away from the computer screen, which was playing Big Mouth. I was like, I want to be anywhere else right now.
I'd rather be in the middle of a drug deal that went bad, which has obviously happened at that roadside hotel. At least that would be, I reckon that would be more enjoyable than Big Mouth.
So bad.
So bad.
Another contentious source of inconsistencies is that the stories had been filtered through John Mack, the guy from before.
Mac Daddy.
Formerly well-regarded and a Pulitzer Prize winner, his reputation was actually taking a beating at the time. After just earlier publishing the book called Abduction, Human Encounter... Sick. Abduction, Human Encounters with Aliens.
Oh, God.
There's like penis within the first 2 minutes. Like drawn child penis within the first 2 minutes.
I don't know how they got away with it in this day.
Again, we're back on Big Mouth. Sorry, John Mack. You'll have your moment. Let us talk about
We're talking
Big
about
Mouth.
all the mysteries of the universe in this podcast.
They needed that.
Aliens, how that was aired.
How is that? How is Big Mouth widely celebrated where it's like drawn child penis within the first 2 minutes? Also, just awful comedy, but just that angle. Why is that allowed? And then, Cuties was publicly derided, which is good. I think they're both awful, but
I don't know anything about Cuties.
He was just sexualized children.
But that's all Big Mouth is.
Exactly.
I suppose it's Bill Burr's theory. As soon as it's animated, it doesn't matter anymore.
That is exactly it. I think so.
Yeah.
As soon as it's animated, if they just did Cuties animated, I think they'd be lauded as heroes, and you don't know what it is. It was some French movie where they were
it was Say No More.
Criticizing.
Yeah, I can imagine that getting a little blue.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable.
Did you watch it?
No, I watched YouTube reviews, which is probably not the best sort. But I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to watch it. Did not want to watch it.
Look, also, I will just add this: American Dad, the alien's funny. Okay. Now we'll continue on.
I'm glad we got that on. That ends Red Thread's 15-minute animation corner. Now back to the episode. Harvard had actually also opened an official investigation into him for misconduct, something that had never been done before to a tenured professor at this point with so little impetus due to the belief that he had been telling people who believed that they'd been abducted by aliens that their experience was completely real without any scientific basis or reasoning to back up his assurances. One of Mack's colleagues went so far as to say that Mack was, quote, a brilliant fellow who occasionally loses it, and this time he's lost it big time, end quote. Was that Donald Trump? That sounds like a Donald Trump quote.
It really does.
While the Harvard Committee's draft report suggested that, quote, to communicate in any way whatsoever to a person who has reported a close encounter with an extraterrestrial life form that this experience might have well been real is professionally irresponsible, end quote.
To even communicate with them.
Yeah. The 14-month investigation, that's so long. What the fuck? Why are you investigating this for 14 months? Investigation was concluded after pushback from other academic figures in the Harvard community, including Harvard professor of law Alan Dershowitz. He's always in Red Thread somehow.
How?
I don't know how, but somehow all these topics.
What is he doing here?
All of these topics, it's like, what's that, 7 degrees from Bacon or what?
Yeah, it's
Bacon?
Dershowitz.
It's Dershowitz. He's the one that's connected to everything. It's incredible.
I don't know how he's had such an extraordinary life.
It's incredible how often he comes
involved.
up. And I'm so sick of talking about him. Can he stop being so involved in things? Main character
Stop being such a remarkable man.
Don't say that. With the
greatest man ever. And thus concludes our legal review corner of this episode.
I'm excited to find out what our next corner is.
2 to go.
Yeah, luckily there's a maximum. Unless we're working like hexagonals or something. With the result being that the dean reaffirmed Dr. Mack's academic freedom to study what he wishes and to state his opinions without impediment. Regardless of the outcome of the ordeal, which had commenced in May of 1994, the situation had caused Dr. Mack's reputation considerable damage. So yeah, this whole situation with like the the university board happened maybe 3 months, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months before the alien invasion of this African village.
Mm.
So my theory is that he was really desperate for aliens to be real because it would have made him look less insane. I think he's smart enough to know that he was looking insane, especially since he was like the first Harvard professor, tenured Harvard professor to be criticized by Harvard without, real good reason to do so, just because he liked aliens. And so I think he was like feeling the heat and he really wanted to push an agenda here. So maybe not the most believable source. This is all to say that Mac was certainly not an unbiased individual who came in with an open mind. In fact, this event couldn't have been any more welcome. To him, it may have seemed an opportunity to reinforce his beliefs, and this inherent bias and motive may have influenced the stories that the children told him. For example, the environmental warnings angle of the stories the witnesses told did not occur until John Mack's interviews 2 months after the events. They were not recorded in Hines' interviews, and they stem primarily from the Mack interviews, which are considered to be full of leading questions and insinuations. Why is this interesting? Well, because John Mack was a staunch environmentalist and anti-nuclear proponent. Cynthia Hine did eventually report similar stories, but not until after Mack's interviews. So it does show how kind of malleable the children's stories are to outside pressure, which I think is, again, like a symptom, not of them lying, but of mass hysteria, if they're that malleable. On the topic of Hind, a lot of the focus is put on her original interviews as undeniable proof that the children did see aliens, as the overall consistency of their stories is remarkable. However, what is often omitted is that these interviews were conducted in groups of between 2 and 6, while other children were allowed to watch and listen to each group's interview. Therefore, it's undeniable that each story was at the very least cross-contaminated with the others. That's not to dismiss their experiences, it is to dispel the common notion that it's incredible that all of the students told exactly the same story, and that must be undeniable proof that what they said actually happened. Beyond that, it should be noted that 62 students said that they witnessed something, whereas almost 200 said that they didn't witness anything at all. So there were 200 other kids in the schoolyard at the same time. It's just 62. 62 had stories to tell. 200 of them said that they didn't see anything.
Still, I think it's cool that maybe the aliens only decided to appear in front of 62.
Yeah, if
teach them a lesson.
If that young
you don't learn at school.
If that young kid who was dripped up in that khaki outfit that we will be looking for on eBay later to buy to dress up as in future episodes of Red Thread, as he said, they did just disappear, which does imply some form of dimensional hopping or some form of being able to appear to people, certain people. So I do think that's a possibility.
Yeah, that explains why the other 200 kids.
Yeah.
And I think we can move on. That part of the story, silly to criticize.
Another interesting element that Cynthia Hine notes is that the children didn't have exposure to modern media and as such wouldn't have been familiar with the concepts of UFOs and alien visitors. So when they report them and draw such detailed and consistent sketches, the source must be an actual real-life encounter. For example, when a skeptic pointed out to Cynthia that the pictures that the children drew were very similar to the stereotypical depiction of aliens in media, Cynthia retorted, quote, "Well, a lot of these children don't go to the movies. They live in the country. Parents are farmers," end quote. That answer is at best, in my expert opinion, naive. I did a little bit of research. I'm telling her what her country is like. I'm condescending. Ariel School sits just outside Harare, Zimbabwe's capital of 1.6 million and the country's economic hub, only about 15 minutes away, at the edge of the agricultural belt. Far from being isolated, Ariel School was the most expensive private school in the area. Its students came from wealthy families, wore neat uniforms, spoke fluent English, and had access to a competition swimming pool, tennis courts, and even a golf course.
Wow.
These children were no less exposed to global media than their peers in any other modern city, especially amid and this is important, the wave of UFO mania that was saturating Zimbabwean news after a reported fireball 2 nights earlier.
Very good.
In fact, the day before the Ariel incident, nearly every radio and TV station in the country was reporting spaceships in the sky, an element that is almost always omitted from this story. So, of course, they knew what aliens, they had aliens fresh on the brain. The kids did.
Look.
Okay, here we go. Now you're flipped and you're going to defend it.
It's your fault. You've done too much of a convincing point.
I'm on your side. I do believe that they saw something.
I think that there might be some truth to. Then again, it is the 90s at this point. But I do remember that Rhodesia was always very underdeveloped. It wasn't like South Africa. It was way more plainy.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I remember people even in the 70s and 80s when they were growing up didn't have access to hot water. And they were from rich households that had help.
Mm.
It wasn't like here, which was obviously a vibrant metropolis by the 1970s and even in the 90s. Guys, did you know that we had Pokemon growing up?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking wild.
That's from Japan.
Okay?
Okay?
We're just like you Americans.
Yep. All of the access to you. We know about fluff. And we tasted it once and we're like, what is wrong with you people? What the fuck? Have you had that shit?
No, what is it?
Man.
Fluff.
Fluff is...
All right, this is the third corner. Whatever fluff is.
Fluff corner.
The fluff corner.
Oh my God,
That's
is.
actually
This is
good.
absolute fluff. Fluff, I think, is some kind of marshmallow.
The big ones?
Spread.
Oh, no, I haven't had
You
that.
never had that?
No, that sounds gross.
Oh, it is. I'm sure I've offended everybody watching.
Marshmallows are only good when you get to toast them. You can't toast spread, surely.
I think you could, but it'd catch on fire.
Yeah. No, yeah, okay. Okay, you can toast it. You can toast anything. That's, you know what I meant.
Yeah, you can toast petrol, dude.
And that concludes...
It's really cool. That concludes corner 3, the fluff corner. But it just clicked on me that it's very cool that they saw these outside of Ariel School.
Why?
Well, it's called Ariel.
Oh, like a girl. Yeah,
And
angel.
thus concludes corner 4.
Angel?
Jordan loosely rhyming words together. That's
You
the
mean
corner.
Ariel as in like the sky?
Yeah, the sky.
I thought you were getting way deeper. I thought you meant like archangel. Like Ariel is an archangel.
How do you know that? What are you
What do you
into
mean?
bloody tarot reading?
No,
How do you know about this?
Soul syrup available now. Tarot card themed. No, it's just
Holy fuck, you are.
for some reason
You're a tarot
I know.
card reader merchant now.
I know. I was gonna say alien names. I know angel names for some reason. Who's there? You good?
Okay, I thought it was one of them. You know what I'm talking about. People that eat fluff.
Yeah, they came for us. They came for our fluff. They heard there was a
Thank God we
corner.
don't have any.
Chapter 5, the many years afterwards. The Ariel School UFO incident quickly became one of the most famous UFO cases to have ever come from Africa. It is often cited as one of the most significant events in UFO history. Do you talk about it in your live show at all? Does it ever get brought up?
Ariel.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I conveniently discounted this one
Yeah, why?
because I just don't believe it.
All right, we'll sum it up at the end why you feel that way. Several witnesses maintain that what they reported was true, and they've largely stuck to their testimonials in the years that followed. Skeptics often frame the Ariel School encounter as a textbook case of children being pussies. No, mass hysteria. According to this view, a combination of suggestibility, peer reinforcement, and emotional contagion created a shared illusion that gripped all of the witnesses. Similar phenomena have been recorded before: the infamous dancing plagues of medieval Europe, or the 1962 laughing epidemic in Tanganyika, where hundreds of schoolchildren succumbed to uncontrollable laughter that spread from one village to another.
Yeah, I heard about
Horrifying.
that. I heard about that.
Yeah. It's in
I
all
want
the
to know what
news.
the conclusion was. What was the point where they all went, good times?
Well,
Yeah,
that-
anyway, what's for dinner? When did that happen?
Did they die?
Did they?
It says succumbed.
They
I
could have
guess,
actually
like-
broken their ribs.
Yeah. No, they didn't die. Surely not. Yeah.
How is this a textbook example of laughing heaps? They saw an alien. How is this the same?
Well, it depends how the social contagion started, right? If the alien sighting had the effect of like it was a clown instead, then one kid started laughing and that carried over to another kid. It's like a social virus that just spreads through them. So this belief, one kid's like, oh my God, an alien, dude. And then he's like, the other kid's like, what, an alien? He looks up and he doesn't really see it, but because the other kid said it, then it's passing through them all.
Seems like it's a stretch to put these three together, though.
All right, well,
now I'm back on board. I think it's kind of lame to say that it's a mass hysteria event.
You think everything's lame when it comes to mass hysteria, though.
I hate mass hysteria as a call because I just don't think that it's real.
It's very rare. If it exists, it's very rare. Do people genuinely use it as an excuse for things?
Because mass hysteria, when everyone's laughing, laughter is contagious.
Yeah.
And I've been in that fit, especially when I've been stoned, where I'm just laughing and then someone else starts laughing and it's just like an hour of your life.
I mean, but
there's no mass hysteria happening there.
I mean, it literally is by definition hysterical.
I stand corrected. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. That is the word.
That's like at the base level for something to be mass hysteria. If you're all laughing, that is like mass hysteria.
That is mass hysteria by definition. Yep, fair enough. All right.
By facts
I still stand by
logic.
that doesn't explain an alien because there's nothing funny about that.
I mean, we've been laughing about it for like 2 hours now. Probing.
Jackson, just on the last paragraph, you have to flip, don't you? You just have to do it.
I just have to put you in your place.
With possible facts
and
possible logic.
Let's wrap this up in a nice bow. In the context of the events at the time in Zimbabwe, the theory is that children, already primed by the news stories and UFO rumors, fed off each other's fears and imagination until they collectively believed that they were witnessing something extraordinary. In fact, counter to you, a survey published in the Malawi Medical Journal found that cases such as these are surprisingly common in African schools.
Why?
In the article, they cite many different cases that bear striking resemblance before concluding, quote, the psychosocial environment plays a crucial role in the occurrence of mass hysteria in developing countries. This is super interesting. What does this mean? Well, the stress and anxiety and stress... Wait, no. Why did I say that twice? Well, the stress and anxiety of living in a developing country can heighten collective, meaning more than one, tension, which can alter how suggestible people are in group psychology. In simple terms, mass hysteria is less about an external event, showing up counter to common belief, and more about the environment and how the environment, that's social, cultural, and psychological, can prime people to experience and reinforce each other's perceptions. So that's why it's more common in developing countries.
Still not really explaining it, though, is it? It's saying that it happens more in developing countries, and it's saying, oh, it's because everybody's poor.
Well, yeah, but that is an explanation.
But they're not poor.
They're not poor, but they still live in an environment where
that is poor.
Where that like the heightened tension of the region, let's say, does still
causes mass hysteria.
Yeah, well, primes them for mass hysteria.
Primes
potentially.
them for it. That is interesting.
It is. Like, I'm sure, like, if you were developing in like a war zone or something like that, no, that's an extreme example, of course, but the psychosocial kind of impact of that would be pretty hard for us as, Australian people to kind of quantify. We wouldn't be able to like even imagine that really, what kind of effect that would have on your brain. And so maybe if it does get to a certain degree where you are just more susceptible to kind of group psychology in those situations, just as a survival instinct, maybe. And of course, that's an extreme example for this wealthy school in Zimbabwe, but same concept.
Yeah. I don't mind it as a theory.
You'd have to look more into it. And this definitely isn't the show for highbrow social concepts that require a lot of reading.
Yeah.
One interesting theory, though, is that more culturally specific emerged. One interesting theory that is more culturally specific emerged some years later in a paper by Gideon Reed titled, quote, "The Mysterious Events at Ariel School, the Puppet Hypothesis." In the 1990s, Zimbabwe was one of several African nations that was attempting to deal with the spread of HIV or AIDS, and international NGOs used unconventional methods to raise awareness. Methods including, this is giving me PTSD, touring puppet shows that were designed to engage with school children. God, that's bleak. We got like at my school, at my primary school, we got like what was his name? Harold the giraffe.
Yeah.
Healthy
Harold.
Yeah, that's all we got, and it was just drugs. Made it seem really cool. I don't know who was paying for that, but
it didn't help, did it?
You know, it did not.
No,
that made drugs look sick.
Just made me think about drugs.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking
And obviously, whoever came up with Healthy Harold was on drugs.
I need drugs to get through that.
God, I hope he's still around.
Yeah. We need Five Nights at Freddy's, but with Harold.
Yeah.
The core of the theory about these puppets is that the strange beings might have been misinterpreted puppets or costume performers who strayed outside their intended setting. That does sound like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Funny.
The theory falters under scrutiny, though, considering no records exist of such a performance at or near Ariel at the time, and the consistency of the children's description seems far more vivid than what a puppet act could reasonably inspire. But the paper does offer with it a more important takeaway. That takeaway being that focusing on the work of skepticism risks missing an important point. The point being the children's reactions were authentic, freely recalled, and spontaneous, suggesting that they did believe that they had seen something, and as such, some kind of stimulus that prompted that did occur. So what would that stimulus be if not an alien?
Yes, exactly.
What would it be? What rational... If it is the mass hysteria route, and they believed they saw an alien that wasn't actually an alien, what could it have been? Like a military thing?
There was the theory that it was a kid that said, it's a rock.
Yeah.
It's over there. And that was the stimulus.
Yeah. I mean, it could be true, yeah. Like, that could be enough, maybe. I don't know.
Puppet Show, guys, is a great one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Decades later, a new element of the story did appear from one eyewitness. However, in 2023, a Zimbabwean social media personality and former student named Dallin claimed in a Netflix documentary called Encounters that the entire Ariel incident was the result of a prank that he had orchestrated when he told his classmates that a shiny rock in the distance was a UFO. There's no proof to suggest that this is true, and it does contradict Dallin's own claims made in a documentary 15 years prior to the Netflix documentary. I'm just including it in there because you have to. I disbelieve him. John Mack continued to investigate UFO encounters and abductions for 10 years following the events of the Ariel School UFO investigation. But on September 27, 2004, almost 10 years to the date after the event, Mack was killed by a drunk driver while in London.
Oh, man.
He was struck at 11:25 p.m. I don't know why we're getting so specific here. After walking home alone from a dinner party where he was then pronounced dead shortly after. The driver, Raymond Czekowski, pleaded guilty to careless driving while under the influence of alcohol. But Mack's family requested leniency, stating in a letter, quote, "Although this was a tragic event for our family, we feel the accused's behavior was neither malicious nor intentional, and we have no ill will toward him since we learned of the circumstances of the collision." I don't know. I'd be pissed if I was the dead guy finding out that, hey, not even my family will stick up for me.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Seems like quite a psychologist family response, though.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, really, does any of us even have free will to begin with?
Oh,
is it really
dude.
his fault?
Society created just another statistic.
Finally, the fifth corner.
Isn't it like
Jackson's dark hole?
No, my dark hole was the fucking alien fingering corner.
Yeah.
We're merging. Dimensional
that is literally
merging.
his dark hole, isn't it?
Raymond ended up serving 6 months in jail. and was disqualified from driving for 3 years. Many have speculated that John Mack's death was suspicious and likely a government assassination because he was getting too close to the truth
Yep, I think
about
so too.
abducted individuals. The popular YouTube channel Y-Files, in a video titled, quote, "The UFO incident that shocked Ariel School, telepathic extraterrestrials, re-edit," reported that it was suspicious that 3 other John Macks were killed on the same day.
Really?
In England. We couldn't verify this information, nor any other information that suggested foul play. And in fact, there is evidence that suggests that only 2 other John Macks died in England across the entirety of 2004. So I guess...
Yeah, but were they on that day?
No.
Oh.
You either believe our sources or Y-File sources. Choose below.
I choose Y-Files.
Yeah, smart. Go subscribe. The Ariel School UFO incident isn't also the first mass sighting at a school. We need only look to...
Victoria somewhere?
Yeah, Melbourne, Australia, Victoria, to find another incident that mirrors the Ariel School incident. At Westall High School in Melbourne in 1966, more than 200 students and teachers reportedly saw a saucer-shaped craft land and take off near the school grounds. Like Ariel, the incident involved a large number of witnesses, many of them students but also teachers. Explained as a runaway high-altitude balloon, witnesses were warned by government officials not to speak about what they had witnessed. Cynthia Hines' career grew after the investigation of the Ariel School UFO incident, as the notoriety of the event increased her reputation. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2000. But at least she made it to the new millennia.
Good for her.
Good for her. At the end of the day, the Ariel School UFO incident is certainly one of the most fascinating cases of a somewhat reputable UFO sighting, according to me, not Jordan.
Jackson.
While there may have been much in the way of, while there may not have been much in the way of physical evidence or video footage, I disagree. The brush was clearly flattened. The scale of how many people witnessed the event is extraordinary. I agree with that. Regardless of whether or not you believe that aliens visited the school on that fateful day, the event still serves as a fascinating example of how group psychology can play out and how mass hysteria could potentially flavor long-term memory. It's undeniable that those affected, those who say that they saw something that day, truly do believe that they saw what they say that they saw. So in that sense, to those people, aliens are real.
Yes. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, that some people are happy. I
really wish they did factually exist, though.
Yeah, that would be
That'd
nice.
be nice.
That would be nice for us. And I have
But it's nice for them.
I have a final clip here, which sums it up perfectly.
From Susan Boyle, it seems. Yep.
That's Hind.
Oh, okay.
But
There you
yes, a South African Susan
Does
Boyle.
look like a character in a Tim Burton film, but
I believe them. I believe they saw what they said they saw. I think that perhaps some have been influenced by others and they've added a little bit here and a little bit there. But basically, they drew in their drawings many things that I don't think that they could know about.
Dude, she was reincarnated into a fucking mining woman.
Gina Reinhardt.
Gina Reinhardt, yeah.
You are so right about that.
She sounds exactly like it.
Yeah. That was the big
Looks
discovery
exactly
of
like
this
it.
episode.
Yeah, Gina Reinhardt's a time traveler.
Yeah. There's no way. How does she have that voice?
It sounds exactly the same. People out there who don't know, look it up because it sounds exactly the same. We're running out of battery on our camera, so we have to be quick on these. That's the end of the episode. Last minute thoughts?
I really, really, really hope it's true. And yours? You really, really hope it doesn't.
No, I really hope.
You're scared.
No, I love it. I love aliens. I hope that it's real. I actually do lean towards them. Of course, seeing something. I don't think the mass hysteria angle works without them having seen something. So I do think that they saw something. Whether it was an alien or not, I don't know. But it had to have been something military, high tech, alternate tech, dimensional tech, perhaps. I'm getting very...
Who knows?
I'm getting very Alex Jonesy over here. But it has to be something cool. Yeah, that's where I stand. You?
All right. Something cool happened.
Yeah, something cool happened at Ariel.
Yep.
It's named after an angel.
And it could have been an angel. You're adding to this as well.
Yeah.
Yep. So your theories,
I'm getting
your
biblical.
theories are so much worse than just being UFOs.
Yeah.
Interdimensional craft that we own or angels. And that's what you think.
I'm getting biblical in this episode.
You are.
You go.
You're going out there.
You give me your theory. Give me your theory.
I think it's a bunch of little shits making things up.
Cool.
And I really wish that I didn't think that.
So your desire to hate children is stronger than your desire to believe aliens are real. That's super interesting.
Yeah. And I'm still going to have some anyway.
All right. So you can sign up over at official.men for a free 7-day trial to ad-free early access of Red Thread episodes. Your support, obviously, means a lot to us. We really do appreciate it. Keeps Red Thread going. You sent us out here into the desert, believe it or not. So thank you for that, you fuckers. Yeah, big thank you, obviously, to all the members. 7-day free trial, you get early access. You can ask us questions like this. Dominic Peeps asks, if you witnessed an alien phenomena like this, how would you react? And would anyone believe you if you saw it alone? I feel like people would believe me. You know.
Why?
I just don't think I'd be the kind to make something like that up. I don't really exaggerate much.
And you're saying that I'm a huge, massive, pathological liar.
Not a liar.
Okay, thank you, Jackson.
Not
Very
a
nice
liar.
of you to say that.
Not a liar. Just,
I've never been so hurt so quickly.
Okay, how about I take it in this angle? You've got political rivals who could potentially sway public opinion against you. Whereas I don't.
Yes, that could happen. You know what's very interesting? The fact that you just said before that I'm not one to lie.
I'm telling the truth.
I think you're actually right about it, though.
Yeah.
I do have that wog mentality to say it was this big.
Yeah. You
cuz.
literally did say it like on day one of this road trip.
Did I?
Yeah, so over something. I remember it being like very innocuous. Like how big was it the burrito, the kebabs that we had? You were like
kebabs.
Yeah, you said like it doesn't matter. It's useless. But you did say it at some point.
It was this big.
Yeah, it was this big.
No, that wasn't me.
Was it me?
No, that was Connor.
Was it Connor?
I was saying like you had massive Red Bull cans, and then he said, "quote I've seen bigger." Just trying to one up.
Yeah. And then he said,
can.
This big.
A can.
Yeah. It was the biggest Red Bull can.
I've seen bigger cans.
Shadow Conspiracy asks, do y'all think that there was any strategy for the aliens to land in an area like Rua during the 80s, 90s, seeing how the city was less technologically advanced than, say, New York at the time? Well, if they land in New York, everyone's going to see it. They only want to appear to 60 children.
Yeah.
If you land in New York, it's going to be
not 260.
enormous. Yeah.
No, they were very specific about the number.
What is the answer for aliens landing on Earth in general? Like, why do they come here?
Well, I think it's the same reason that we
Scouting?
monitor uncontacted tribes.
Well, yeah, but we don't. We typically try not to land in their, like their little campground, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but maybe they thought, hey, did you turn on the invisibility cloak? And then they're just like, yeah, it's on. It was like me with putting on the bottle clap for the extra blue or whatever it was and being, yeah, it's full.
So there could be an alien in this room right now. We don't even know. He's just watching. Like he's a big fan
sitting
of
there
Red
listening
Thread.
in. Probably doesn't pay for the Patreon.
Yeah,
membership.
come on. Sign up, alien, wherever you are. I'm getting schizophrenic. Miss Mosh asks a question for Jordan. Fuck you too. Why are all UFO sightings seemingly in America?
Well,
as
you
we
will
just
have to
saw.
watch my live show to find out. I'll tell you anyway. You're a paying member. I'll tell you why. Because it's there's apparently a direct link between how many nuclear weapons a country has and how many UFO sightings that country sees.
Really?
So it goes in order of America sees the most, Russia sees the second most, China sees the third most, etc., etc.
Is it linear in like sightings to nuclear weapons too?
Well, have you ever heard this? I'm giving away a big part of my show, but when the Soviet Union collapsed, there was a bunch of documents that are no longer classified because there's no one left to classify them. So people are scouring through them. Heaps of them are about UFOs. One of them is a memo that says, and it's to every nuclear silo in the Soviet Union, and it says, if you see flying saucers, stop shooting at them. We've lost 6 pilots. And that's it. What the fuck?
Well, doesn't that just mean they're shooting them, their own people down? Is that not what that means?
No, they're saying if you see flying saucers, specifically flying saucers, stop shooting at them. They're saying, there's other documents to back this as well. They're saying that flying saucers, and Americans say this about them being on nuclear sites as well. It's like they send out drones or something to monitor
how
the
much
silos.
nuclear stuff we've got.
How much they seem to be quite interested in how much nuclear technology we have.
Because that's the only reason why I would think that like they would ever visit us is if they're interested in some resource on the planet that they can detect. So if it's nuclear,
but I think that they're
material-
probably more interested in us blowing ourselves up.
Oh, they're like
I think that it's just like as soon as because sightings after World War II massively increase.
So are we basically like one of those, you know, is it TLC shows for them? They're just sitting up there watching us fuck around, basically.
They could. I think more they're thinking, okay, the monkeys have figured out how to blow themselves up. We should probably monitor this. I think that they're more concerned. You know,
Well,
I
is that
think
a
they
good
see
thing?
it
Are
as
they going to step in?
either
and
the
stop us?
uncontacted tribes or we are like a little sea monkey experiment they bought at their news agency.
But are they going to step in and help us then?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, sweet.
Anyway, this is all me based off of like that one book called UFOs and Nukes, which I do not recommend you read because I gave you the entire summary of it and it's 1,000 fucking pages.
Really?
It's as long as Lord of the Rings.
And you can go watch his live show, obviously, and you're in Australia and get it, an
Get the
audio
summary
book
of it.
version of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Hideo Game Cogenius asks,
You triggered?
yeah, if you could, Hideo Kojima is an alien. If you could be any alien from fiction, which one would you choose? Any alien?
Does that little sand monster work as one? You know, and 5 children in it? No, he's some kind of bog creature.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what other aliens. I tell you what I don't want to be.
What?
One of those fucked ones in Star Trek with the Neanderthal forehead.
Oh, yeah. The fucking, what are they called?
Klingon. No?
Klingon? Vulcan? No, Vulcan's Spock.
Okay, I want to be Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, that's fine. Just to annoy everyone. Yeah, sweet. I was also going the Star Wars direction. I'm going to be the giant fucking sand vagina monster, the Sarlacc that everyone falls into.
Why?
Because it's just, you don't have to move much. Your food comes to you. It's
You got a sweet deal with Jabba the
you
Hutt.
show
going.
up in the scene. That's it. Merch deals, maybe.
What about that fat guy that controls the monster?
Oh, you mean in the dungeon?
Does he count as an alien?
Yeah. If you count fat guy as alien, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, Jabba's got a pretty good life.
Yeah, until he doesn't. Until he gets choked out. Yeah, he gets choked out in a pretty sexy way, though.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Getting hard on that.
Yeah.
Hey, Jabba.
Luckily, we're coming to the end of this. Frictic asks, how disappointed would you be if there were aliens but they were stupid? Also for Jordan, do you have anywhere to view your tour shows online?
Yes, I do. At Friendly Geordie's Live. And
But not
I will
Alien
be
Hunter,
uploading,
right?
Not Alien Hunter. And I will be uploading my Byzantine one soon.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, when was that one shot?
Last year.
Okay.
Craply, I might add.
Sweet. That's a glowing endorsement from the man himself.
All of my shows have been craply filmed.
Well,
and I'm
film them
ashamed of all
goodly.
of them. But you
Film
can
them
watch it.
goodly.
I can't.
All right. Yeah, go check out his website, obviously, but support his tour. And the question was, how disappointed would you be if there were aliens, but they were stupid?
Not disappointed at all.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
But are we talking about dog intelligence or are we talking about amoeba
surely
intelligence?
if they're traveling intergalactic space, there has to be some level of
Intelligence. Unless they got so advanced because of AI that they could become dumb like us.
Fuck, maybe they're not emotionally intelligent.
Well, they're definitely not that.
Maybe they come here and they're like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
That would
they are that
suck.
to the power of 1,000,000 years.
Oh god damn.
Yeah, they're
that would
Sheldons.
suck. And just like a caricature of a stupid person too. Well, not a stupid person, like a
idiot savant.
Yeah, that. Oh my god, they'd be insufferable.
Yeah, I think we could all tell
if they came here. They'd be so smart. I reckon they'd be so smart that they'd be condescending and we want them off the planet.
Feels like that.
Yeah,
It really
think
does.
So.
I don't really want to meet one. I kind of want to see them from a distance, and that's about it.
Yeah, I just want to see them in glowing light.
Yeah, just like we're at
Distance.
Dubbo Zoo. I hope so.
Glowing light. Hey, what the hell? Is this sheet being updated live? This is from Asus HP, Jordan's main sponsor this afternoon, because he's got so many fucking HP products brought with him for some reason. The question is, if an alien gave you a choice to select a certain part of your body to probe, which would it be and why?
If they gave you a choice.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going up my pee hole, I'll tell you that.
It's a buffet. I'm going to go dealer's choice. I'm going to let him go wild. Whatever he wants.
Dealer's choice.
Whatever he wants. I'm an open book.
Look, I'm going to have to choose the butthole. It's the easiest access
classic,
out of
isn't
all
it?
of them.
Easiest
It's
access?
Classic. Huh?
Easiest access?
Okay, what have you got? You got your penis hole. I don't want it in there. The mouth, that seems quite intrusive. Then again, so does the bum.
Yeah,
but
but
it feels like maybe you might get something out of the bum, you know? You're not getting out of the mouth or the ears or anything.
Scientists speculate there might be a G-spot up there. Ears are a bit like, yeah, there's not much room.
No,
I want it to be good for him too.
And the camera down the mouth always freaks me out in surgery.
All right, well, I guess butthole's the only logical answer.
Butthole's the only logical answer.
I get why they do it so much. Joshua asks, final question. This question is for Kira if she is with you on this episode.
Which she is not.
We'll move on. I'll answer for her. If Jackson was abducted by aliens and anally probed, would you still stay with him?
That's so cool.
Let's hope we don't have to test that.
Let's test it. All right. Regardless of whether you get abducted tomorrow or not, just say you were abducted. Let's see if it ruins your marriage.
I'll disappear for 2 hours tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And I'll come back with my pants.
It's a long probing. Yeah. That's a lot.
Actually, that is a lot, yeah. But I think I could convince her that I was anally probed by an alien. Oh, man.
Good. Well, I hope we all learned something today. I know I did.
All right, guys.
I'm a better man for it.
That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining us as per usual. We'll see you next time when we're separated by a state again. Thanks, bye. Thanks, bye. Thanks.